Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Really excited about today's topic. We're getting into the life, the legacy of Duchess Satine Kryze of Mandalore. Now, what's fascinating here is you have this leader from a planet known for warriors. I mean, you're really known for warriors, but she championed peace. So our mission today, uncover the surprising details, the deeper meaning behind her reign, her unique approach, and her tragic end. We're using the sources you sent over.
And it is surprising. Because Mandalore's history, I mean, we're talking centuries of violence, internal conflict, civil war.
Yeah.
It's intense. So Satine's pacifism, it wasn't just, a policy choice. It was radical. She led the new Mandalorians trying to fundamentally shift their identity away from that past.
But who was she? Fundamentally, we know her as Satine Kryze, Duchess of Mandalore, a pacifist, originally from Kalevala, but she governed Mandalore itself, trying to reshape it.
Right. And her ideology was core to that reshaping. She led the new Mandalorians specifically to distance the planet from all that violence. She pushed for neutrality, especially during the Clone Wars, no intervention, no military buildup. She felt that would just drag them back into conflict. She had that quote, didn't she? The ideals are the only truth. That really sums it up.
Okay, but where did this conviction come from? Because that's a hard turn for a Mandalorian leader. The sources point to her past, right? Being protected by Jedi during the Mandalorian Civil War. Qui-Gon Jinn, and notably Obi-Wan Kenobi. That period seems absolutely crucial to her commitment to peace.
It really was. And, it adds another layer entirely, the personal one. The relationship with Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's heavily implied, maybe more than implied, that it was romantic. Deeply so. You have Obi-Wan's own words. Had you said the word, I would have left the Jedi Order. Think about that, the sacrifice involved. Choosing duty, the respective duties, over something incredibly personal.
Wow. Yeah, that adds so much weight. But sticking to peace wasn't easy, was it? She faced opposition. The Death Watch, for instance. Led by Pre Vizsla, they wanted Mandalore to go back to its warrior roots, and they were willing to use violence. So she's trying to hold on to pacifism while facing, very real threats. That must have been incredibly difficult.
Absolutely, and not just internal threats. She also pushed back against the Republic. Repeatedly refused military assistance, even clashed with Chancellor Palpatine, all to keep Mandalore neutral, keep it out of the war. That took serious political will, standing against that kind of pressure during the Clone Wars.
But then came the ultimate disaster for her vision. The betrayal. Darth Maul. He's the Death Watch, didn't he? His Shadow Collective kind of worked behind the scenes.
Exactly. He helped Death Watch take over, but then Maul betrayed them, killed Pre Vizsla, took the Darksaber, seized control himself.
And Satine. Imprisoned during Maul's coup. Mandalore just fell into chaos.
And her end. It's just devastating. Maul kills her with the Darksaber right in front of Obi-Wan, who can't do anything. It's incredibly brutal emotionally, and it's symbolic too, isn't it? Maul using the ancient symbol of Mandalorian leadership to kill the leader who rejected its violent past. Her last words to Obi-Wan. I've loved you from the moment you came to my aid all those years ago. Just heartbreaking. A huge personal loss for Obi-Wan, obviously, but also maybe symbolizing the vulnerability of pure pacifism in that era.
Yeah, it seems like her ideals were just crushed. But her death had ripples, didn't it? It apparently radicalized her sister, Bo-Katan Kryze, who then took up the fight for Mandalore, but, in a more traditional martial way. Still aiming for unity, but through different means.
Satine really stands out, though. If you look across the Star Wars saga, she's one of the very few major political figures who genuinely, unwaveringly put peace above everything, even survival, arguably.
So what do we take away from Satine's story? For you, listening, it really shows how personal history, maybe even love and loss, can shape a leader's entire political view. The huge impact of those things against a backdrop of galactic war. And it leaves you with that difficult question, right? In times of widespread conflict, when things get really brutal, can ideals like pure pacifism ever be enough on their own? Or is idealism always vulnerable to the harsh realities of power and violence? Something to think about.